Forget everything you think you know about farming, because today, we're unleashing the ultimate lineup of agricultural machines that don't just work, they dominate. From one 100 horsepower mega beasts that crush acres in a single pass, to smart robots that farm while you sleep. This is the new frontier of agriculture, where horsepower meets high-tech and dirt meets data. In this video, we're breaking it down into 8 killer segments: tractor wars, next-gen harvesters, eco-farming bots, and lessons real farmers learned the hard way so you can farm smarter, faster, and stronger. This isn't just machinery, it's a revolution. Let's fire it up. The titans of the field, comparing the world's most powerful tractors. Now this isn't just a tractor. This is a beast. A 4-track war machine built to conquer land that eats ordinary equipment alive. Meet the Case IH Steiger Quadtrack 530. 4 independent tracks, over 550 horsepower, designed to spread weight evenly, minimize compaction, and claw into the soil like a tiger on a mission. So what does all that power mean if it crushes your soil? That's where this design wins. Quadtrack's floating weight saves your yield without sacrificing traction. And for the record, yes, it turns better than most 2-track monsters. But John Deere didn't just sit back. The 8RX series. This thing's a track legend in its own right. Deere built it for side slope stability, tight turning, and it still feels like driving a Cadillac if that Cadillac were built like a tank. The truth is, it's not about who's stronger, it's about what kind of land you run. If you're working flat, wide open dry land, the Quadtrack might give you the edge. But on rolling hills or sticky soil, that 8RX hugs the terrain like it was born there. But wait, let's raise the stakes. This is the NEXAT 1100 PS, and no, it's not a transformer, though it kind of feels like one. This machine doesn't just drive, it becomes your planter, your cultivator, your sprayer, and even your harvester. One machine, 4 rolls, 100 horsepower. If you're running mega farms like 1,000 acres and up, this thing could replace your whole fleet. Real-world wisdom segment, what they don't tell you. Now listen, here's where folks get it wrong. I've seen farmers drop 6 figures on the wrong machine. Why? Because they bought based on horsepower and brand loyalty, not workflow. Match your terrain to your traction system. Calculate turning radius versus implement size. Factor in maintenance costs and dealer support. Don't overspend if your fields can't support it. One Iowa grower told me his 8RX outperformed the Quadtrack on his hilly loam. Why better weight transfer on inclines? Meanwhile, his neighbor swore by the Quadtrack because it never bogged down in spring frost. Lesson learned. Moral of the story: no single machine wins every battle, but when you match the right tractor to the right land, that's when you win the war. Speaking of smart matchups, tractors may break the ground, but it's what you put in that ground that truly counts. And coming up next, we're talking planting machines so precise, they can do in 1 hour what used to take 10 workers all day. You ready to plant like a pro? Let's roll into it. 2. Plant like a pro. Automated planters and mistakes when using them. Now look at this machine go. 6 rows at a time, precise, clean, no missed spots. This is the Triumph Transplanter 6-row, and it's not just a planter, it's a game changer for farmers trying to scale up without sacrificing precision. Built by Chechi and Magli, this planter can do up to 5,000 plants per hour per row. You multiply that by 6, and suddenly your half-day job turns into a coffee break. But before you go order one off the lot, let's talk real-world use, because I've seen great farms get terrible results just by skipping a few basics. Common mistakes that kill your efficiency. Number 1, bad soil prep. If your field isn't flat and lightly packed, you're going to get uneven depth, which means inconsistent germination. No machine can save you from poor groundwork. Number 2, wrong seedling size. These planters are calibrated for uniform plugs. You throw in mixed trays, some overgrown, some stunted, you'll jam the feeder or skip slots altogether. And number 3, poor calibration. Every crop has a sweet spot for spacing, and I've seen folks use factory defaults and wonder why their lettuce looks like it's in a street fight. Personal case, the lettuce farmer from Ohio. A grower in Ohio told me he nearly gave up on automated planters. Turns out he didn't adjust the row spacing and had 2 crops choking each other out. Once he dialed it in 12-inch center spacing, matching seedling size, and firm soil prep, his yield shot up 23% in one season. Analysis: should you invest in automation? Ask yourself 3 questions before investing. Are your seedling trays uniform and ready for machine transplanting? Do you plant the same crop type and volume each season? Are you trying to replace labor or boost consistency? Because the Triumph, it's not cheap, $45,000 to $60,000, depending on spec, but for mid-sized farms growing high-value crops like lettuce, broccoli, even onions, this thing can pay for itself in 2 years. Lesson learned. Automation isn't about replacing people. It's about letting your best people focus on what matters, like quality control, crop health, and business growth. Get your prep right, dial in your spacing, and match the machine to your crop. Do that, and you're not just planting faster, you're planting smarter. And once you've planted like a pro, it's only a matter of time before harvest rolls in. But here's the thing, harvesting isn't just about speed anymore. It's about precision, crop safety, and labor savings. So coming up next, the machines that do the hard work for you and do it better than 10 men with a knife. Let's get harvesting. Harvesting mastery, machines that replace 10 workers at once. You ever watch 10 men harvest cabbage on their knees? Knives flying, backs breaking? Now imagine one machine doing the same job cleaner, faster, and without the complaints about lunch breaks. This is harvesting mastery. Commander 1, precision with every head. Meet the Commander 1, a high-efficiency vegetable harvester that's changing the game, especially in crops like cabbage, lettuce, and broccoli. It doesn't just grab the plant, it cuts the root clean, preserves the head, and keeps the rows moving. You're talking 10 times the speed, 0 fatigue, and way more consistency. That's the difference between farming to survive and farming to scale. Spartan Apple Harvester. No more crawling through orchards. Now let's shift gears. Apple orchards used to need crews crawling along the ground, picking fallen fruit by hand, back-breaking, time-consuming. But now the Spartan Apple Harvester handles it like a pro. It gently collects fallen apples using a rotating intake system, reducing bruising and labor costs. Perfect for juicing great apples, and a godsend during labor shortages. A grower from upstate New York told us this machine saved a season when his usual harvest crew couldn't get visas in time. The Spartan ran for 9 days straight, no injuries, no missed apples. Vervet Beet Eater 925, power meets precision. Now this one's a monster, the Vervet Evo 925, up to 700 horsepower, fully self-propelled, and engineered to lift, clean, and bunker load beets with almost 0 crop loss. You think digging beets is just brute force? Try keeping a load clean at speed and in wet soil. This machine's got a built-in cleaning system that removes dirt, stones, and keeps your product market ready. Analysis. Commander 1, cheer high-value leaf crops. Spartan, the orchard automation and fallback labor plan. Vervet, root crop powerhouse for large acreage. Common mistakes with harvesting machines. Now, even with the best machines, mistakes still happen. Let me break down the big 3. Wrong field conditions, If soil's too wet, even great machines can compact or clog up. Harvest windows matter. Overspeeding the machine, push it too fast and you'll either miss crops or bruise your product, especially with apples and soft heads. Skipping maintenance, belts, blades, brushes they wear fast during peak season. Don't wait until the sensor screams, do daily checks. Lessons from the field. Machines can harvest faster than a crew of 10, but only if you treat them like an extension of your team. Plan around them, prep for them, maintain them. The goal isn't just speed, it's quality with consistency. And these harvesters, they deliver if you work with them, not just behind them. And while these harvesters are experts at doing one thing exceptionally well, what if you had a machine that could do everything? Seeding, spraying, cultivating, and even harvesting all in one pass. Coming up next, NEXAT, the multi-tool of modern megafarms. Stay with me. One machine, many jobs, NEXAT and the rise of multitasking giants. You know the old saying, jack of all trades, master of none? Yeah, this machine just threw that idea out the window. This is the NEXAT 1100 PS, a 100 horsepower, fully modular ag machine that's not just a tractor. It's your entire farm fleet in one massive beast. It seeds, it sprays, it tills, it even harvests. You name the job, NEXAT does it. How it works, modular farming revolution. Think of it like a farming command center on wheels. The NEXAT drives once through the field, swapping modules depending on the season. You don't bring in a new machine, you just change the tool. Analysis comparison. Traditional method, 4 machines, 4 drivers, 4 separate fuel bills. NEXAT, 1 operator, 1 pass, dramatic time and labor savings. Even weight distribution across wide tracks. Chassis reduced soil compaction. That last one's huge. Soil compaction kills yield, and NEXAT's 14-meter wide wheelbase floats across the field like a ghost. Real-world example, German mega-farm efficiency. On a 2,000-acre test farm in Germany, the NEXAT reduced field passes by 38%, saved nearly $27,000 in fuel and labor in a single season, and kept soil structure intact through harvest. They didn't just save time, they boosted corn yield by 5.4% simply because the soil stayed fluffy, breathable, and untouched by repeated wheel passes. Who shouldn't buy one? Now, don't get dollar signs in your eyes just yet. This machine isn't for everyone. You farm less than 800 acres. You rotate between small, delicate crops with non-compatible systems. You don't have the infrastructure to support wide-track operation. It's a luxury if your farm isn't big enough to justify it. But for large-scale operations, this thing pays for itself in 2 to 4 years. Common mistakes when switching to multipurpose systems. Not planning modular logistics. You'll need space and equipment to lift and swap modules safely. Forgetting about operator training. These aren't plug-and-play toys. You need someone who understands precision. Underestimating data. NEXAT works best when synced with yield maps, moisture sensors, and field tech. Lesson learned, strategy over strength. This machine taught me something I wish I learned 20 years ago. It's not the strongest machine that wins. It's the one that works the smartest across the whole season. Don't just think about horsepower. Think about workflow. If every step on your farm speaks the same language, you gain efficiency where others lose time. Now, speaking of smart systems, what if your machine didn't even need fuel? No diesel, no refills, just a cable, some solar panels, and a plan. Coming up next, electric tractors, green automation, and the rise of truly sustainable farming. Stay tuned, this one's powerful in a whole new way. Ecotech revolution. Can zero-fuel farming really work? No diesel, no gas, no fumes. Just a plug, a cable, and the silent hum of 380 volts pushing this machine down the row. Welcome to farming's cleanest frontier. Agri-Robot E290, farming without fuel. The Agri-Robot E290 is a fully electric, cable-powered autonomous tractor, runs on a three-phase, 380V line that stretches over 1,500 meters. That's nearly a mile and a half of electric reach. This thing isn't just electric. It's designed to plug directly into your on-site renewable energy solar, wind, hydro, or biogas. That's right, you generate the power. The robot does the work. It's clean, it's smart, and it's deadly efficient. Why this matters especially for older farmers. I know some of you watching this have been running diesel for 30, 40 years. I get it. Fuel's what we trust. It's loud, powerful, familiar. But today's fuel prices, maintenance bills, the noise. Now imagine this. You walk outside at 5:08. Birds are chirping, no fumes in the air, and your fields are already half done. Real-world example, solar-powered vineyard in California. In Central California, a vineyard installed a cable-powered agri-robot system tied to solar panels. It now runs 12 hours a day with zero fuel cost. Annual diesel savings, $19 on $600. Noise complaints, gone. And here's the kicker, they can monitor the whole system from an iPad. Common pitfalls when going electric. Going green doesn't mean going easy. A few things can trip you up if you're not ready. Poor field layout. These machines need efficient row design. Tight turns or narrow passes can tangle cables fast. Underestimating energy demand. Solar alone may not cut it. You need battery backup or multi-source input during cloudy stretches. Lack of technician support. Electric systems fail differently than combustion. You'll need a tech-savvy hand for diagnostics. Avix Autonomic, high-tech pest control without the noise. And if you're still paying for noise cannons or fake owls, let's talk about the Avix Autonomic. It uses laser beams, yes, lasers to keep birds off your crops. It's quiet, automated, and effective. I know one blueberry farmer in Oregon who said this thing saved his entire north field during peak ripening without firing a single shot. Lesson learned, sustainability is a system, not a slogan. Ecotech doesn't work if it's a gimmick. It works when it's part of your ecosystem. Power, layout, backup, and support, that's the real equation. You don't just plug in and go, but when it's dialed in, it's farming for the next 50 years, not the last 50. Now you've planted clean and harvested smart. What do you do with all that biomass coming up next? We're diving into the machines that chop, wrap, and bale your crop in one tight pass because the field's not done until the last bale rolls out. Let's talk balers that work smarter, not harder. From field to bale, streamlining the harvest to storage pipeline, this is where the job gets real. You've planted, you've harvested, but if you can't store it right, you're just feeding the crows. This machine, it doesn't just gather, it wraps, seals, and saves your profit in every bale. Knoll Multi-Baler 1220, the one-man silage army. The Knoll Multi-Baler 1220 is a PTO-powered baler wrapper combo designed for silage crops like corn, grass, and alfalfa. It partners with a front-mounted chopper and handles the whole baling process, cut, compress, wrap all in one go. You don't need a whole crew, just one trained driver, and this thing can do in 8 hours what used to take 3 men all day. For smaller operations, that's a game changer. GoWile LT Master F60, small format, big impact. Then there's the GoWile LT Master F60, a fixed-chamber baler wrapper built for versatility. It compacts and seals everything corn silage, beet pulp, even wood chips and food waste. It's perfect for operations with diverse materials or smaller storage space. The bales come out uniform, stackable, and oxygen-tight, ideal for long-term preservation. Common mistakes in the bale game. All right, let's talk screw-ups, because baling is where a lot of folks lose value and don't even know it. Wrong moisture levels, silage too wet, you get fermentation problems. Too dry, you lose compression. Skipping blade maintenance. Dull knives, short and ragged cuts, serve air pockets inside bales. Storing bales improperly, stacked too tight or uncovered, heat builds. Plastic breaks, mold creeps in. Baling isn't just about finishing the job, it's about protecting the quality of what you already worked so hard to grow. Real-world case, silage savings in Wisconsin. One mid-sized dairy farm in Wisconsin switched to a Goel system after losing nearly 15% of their silage each year to mold and oxygen leaks. After just one season, losses dropped below 2%. That's a $14 on $1,000 swing on wrap alone. Lesson learned, think beyond the field. We love seeing clean rows and shiny machines, but storage is where your crop turns into cash. The right baler doesn't just save time, it saves quality, energy, and in the end, your bottom line. Now let's shift to something that doesn't always get attention but should, because your field isn't an island. The ditches, the borders, the edges, they affect everything from drainage to disease pressure. Up next, we're getting into field cleanup and border maintenance, and the machines that make it fast, safe, and actually satisfying to watch. Let's go. Clean fields, clear profits. Virgin ditch maintenance that actually pays off. Let me tell you something that younger farmers often overlook, but veterans know by heart. If your ditches are clogged, your yields are already compromised. Drainage isn't a side job, it's survival. The Herder Verge and Ditch Maintenance System. This right here is the Herder Verge and Ditch Maintenance System, a serious tool for keeping field edges clean, waterways clear, and embankments under control. It's mounted on your existing tractor and features a hydraulic boom with a powerful suction mower head. You can reach over 30 feet, clean ditches without stepping in them, and get it done without beating up your tires on the bank. Why field edge maintenance? Not yield protection? Neglected ditches mean pooled water, root rot, and higher pest pressure. And if you're in a wet spring or late season storm, all that compaction and runoff hits you like a freight train. Real example, Midwest flood season. A soybean grower in Illinois lost 12 acres of bottomland to water damage because a 3-week delay in clearing verges backed up his drainage across 3 fields. Now imagine if one pass with a herder system could have saved him $18,000 in crop losses. That's the math we often forget. Common mistakes in ditch and verge work. I've seen good operators make simple mistakes that cost time and fuel. Let's keep you out of trouble. Starting too late in the season. Vegetation gets thick fast. If you wait till it's waist high, your mower works twice as hard. Ignoring wildlife nests and obstructions, you jam your intake, burn a belt, and maybe take out a turtle or two, slow down and scout first. Skipping oil and hose checks. A blown hydraulic line mid-pass is a $700 repair and a full day down. Lesson learned, tidy borders, stronger fields. You want strong, productive fields. Then you better respect their edges. Verge and ditch maintenance may not be flashy, but it's foundational. Clean flow, clean field, clean results. Bonus insight, verge work is contract work. And here's a side hustle tip. Contractors and municipalities pay well for clean verge and drainage work. If you're already geared up, this machine pays double duty. We've seen the machines that plant, harvest, bale, and clean. But the best tool in your shed, it's still your mind. Coming up next, I'm sharing 5 hard-earned lessons from seasoned farmers across the country so you can avoid their mistakes and build your own legacy faster. Let's wrap it up right. Lessons from the field. 5 things every smart operator learns the hard way. You've seen the machines, you've heard the numbers, but at the end of the day, it's not just about horsepower, hydraulics, or high-tech gadgets. It's about decisions. Decisions made in real fields, with real consequences. Lesson 1, it's not the size of the machine, it's the fit for the job. I've seen too many folks blow their budget on a 600 horsepower monster only to use it on 40-acre plots. Meanwhile, their neighbor with a smaller rig, dialed into every pass, outperforms them season after season. Real example. Down in Missouri, a corn grower traded in his oversized 4WD for a track machine better matched to his wet bottomland. Fuel use dropped 20% and yields rose. Why less compaction, tighter turning, smarter sizing? Lesson 2, automation doesn't replace wisdom, it amplifies it. You can have a planter that drops 5 Husinalen seedlings an hour, but if your trays are inconsistent or your operator doesn't catch a jam, guess what you just planted problems? Technology is not a magic wand, it's a magnifier. It makes good habits better and bad habits worse. Lesson 3, skipping maintenance is always more expensive. I get it, you're tired, the sun's going down. But skip that grease fitting or ignore that warning light, and tomorrow you're out $1, $200 in half a day. The best operators I know, they walk their machines every morning like they walk their fields, looking, listening, checking. Lesson 4, your field edges matter more than you think. This one's simple: clean ditches, chunks dry roots, tidy borders, chunks fewer weeds, fewer pests. If your field's foundation is weak, the rest doesn't matter. Verge work isn't glamorous, but it's gold. Lesson 5, talk to people who failed and listen to it. The smartest farmers I've met weren't born knowing this stuff. They just made mistakes, owned them, and passed on the truth. Real advice. One guy told me, the first time I planted with GPS, I thought I could nap. Woke up with 2 acres of crooked rows and a wife who wouldn't talk to me for a week. Experience isn't just what you've done, it's what you're willing to learn from someone else. Final reflection. The machine is only as good as the mind behind it. You've got the tool, you've got the land, maybe you've even got a lifetime of experience behind the wheel. But the difference between a good season and a great one, it's in the thinking. So ask questions, watch the numbers, listen to the machines, and never stop learning, because farming doesn't wait for anyone, and neither does the future. If this video gave you a new idea or saved you a mistake, hit that like button, subscribe for more real-world insights, and hey, drop a comment below. What's one lesson you learned the hard way?